information within the frames. So as you see, with VLANs, unicast, multicast, and broadcast traffic is confined to a VLAN. So it's specific for a given type of VLAN. VLAN for faculty, VLAN for student or guest. So without a layer 3 device to connect the VLANs, devices in different VLANs can't communicate. So this is why, as I told you earlier, because the communications within a single VLAN is isolated. So if you want to communicate between VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 here, you can't easily like this way, but you need layer 3 device. So router, like router, a device with router services in order to communicate the link, because this VLAN doesn't see this. So we need intermediate device like 3-layer device to route the information between them. Okay, so VLAN identification with a tag. This is the part of the frame: destination MAC, source MAC, type, length, data, FCS. So this is the header of the 82.1q. Header is 4 bytes. When a tag is created, it means that we have created a VLAN and assigned to it a tag. It means that the FCS will be recalculated and should be inserted to the frame, to the IEEE header. And then when sent to end devices, when the frame is sent to the end devices, this tag must be removed and the FCS should be once again recalculated to become to its original number. So we only use this modified FCS or this tag throughout the communication, throughout the trunk. When the message will be received at the end device, we will remove this modification, FCS modifications. IEEE 801Q is a standard. It's a standard used to tag Ethernet frames with a VLAN information. It means that this tag we add it to differentiate the VLAN traffic throughout the trunk. So because trunk carries different trunk link, because it carries different VLAN information for differently VLANs, so we have to add inside this tag some information to differentiate. This tag is for VLAN 10, tag 2 is for VLAN 20, tag 3 is for VLAN 30. So multiple VLANs can travel across a single network link called a trunk. Okay. As you see here, the function of each field of the tag. So type should be 2 byte hexadecimal. It's referred to the IP or to the tag protocol ID, which protocol we use for this tagging. User priority 3 bits that supports user priority, these 3 bits here. This is for the protocol ID. This is for the priority, user priority. Canonical form identifier CFI, 1 bit that can support token, ring, or not here. And VD is the VLAN ID. It's identifier that can support up to 4096 VLANs. So you can define here VLAN 1. So this one who tell this tag is for VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VD. Okay, VLAN ID. Now, native VLANs and 802.1q tagging. So 8021 trunk basics tagging is typically done on all VLANs. Typically. However, the native VLAN, remember, a native VLAN is the VLAN on a trunk link doesn't tag its frames. So the use of a native VLAN was designed for legacy use, like the hub in the example, like here. So we use native VLAN in order to use the hub. Okay, and remember, native is to use the traffic without tagging. Unless it changed, if we have changed the hub with something else, so VLAN is the native itself. So the native VLAN is itself the VLAN, or the VLAN one is itself the native VLAN. Both ends of a trunk link must be configured with the same native VLAN. This is very important. Okay. So for example, this is native, this is trunk link. This one should be configured with the same VLAN as here. So the link between, okay? Both ports here should be configured, but the same native VLAN. VLAN 10, VLAN 10, native 10, native 10, native 50, native 50. Each trunk here or there or there or there is configured separately. You configure each one, so it's possible to have different native VLANs on separate trunks. We can have VS native LAN 1, native LAN 10, native LAN, because it depends on the interfaces here on the trunk link. Okay. How we can configure VLANs? So if we use VLAN range on Catalyst switches, for example, Catalyst switches are 2960 and 3650 that support over 4000 VLANs. We can create on these switches, wow, large number of VLANs. Imagine. Okay, so normal range from VLAN 1 to 1005, in this range 1, 2, 3 till until 1005, this used in small to medium sized businesses. And the LAN numbers from 1000 to 1005 as here are reserved for legacy VLANs. However, the number 1, VLAN 1 here, 1, 2 to 5, all this 1 and all these are auto created and can be deleted. So this is, you can find them in any switch, and we can't delete them, we can't create them. You will see them whenever you execute this command, for example. And these VLANs are stored on the VLAN.dat file in Flash. So they are in file. However, VTP can synchronize between switches. VTP is the VLAN trunk protocol, who is responsible to synchronize between switches. Okay, virtual LAN VLAN trunk protocol. However, the range from 1006 to 4095 or 95 or 6 used by service provider, a higher level, uh, you need to be in running configurations, support fewer VLAN features. It's not like here, larger features, requires VTP configurations. Okay, how we can create a VLAN? So these are VLAN details are stored in the VLAN.dat file. So in order to create VLANs, you should be for sure, you should be in a global configuration mode. So first of thing, you enter to the enable mode, you click, you tap, you execute the configure terminal. Then you should assign this, create a VLAN with ID number. So configure terminal VLAN 9, VLAN 10, VLAN 20 as you want. Then you should, if you want to specify a name to identify the VLAN as here, we call it student, we call it VLAN 10, student faculty. So you easily write name student, name faculty, name VLAN 10, okay, as you want. And then you go to global configuration. This way you create VLAN ID, VLAN name. That's it. Two comments. This way you create. However, this is an example. Imagine that you want to create this VLAN 20 or VLAN student, sorry, here you want to create this VLAN student and this switch, from this switch. How can you do it? Configure terminal, you enter to this mode, sorry. Then you write VLAN comment and you add the ID of this LAN 20. Then name, you add to this VLAN name student here and you end. If you don't add name, you will have this name with 4 numbers here as here. Okay? If you don't give a default name or the default name of, if you don't name it, it will be VLAN 0020. 00. If here 30, 0030. If here